4-hour time frame, as you can see on the 4-hour time frame, the market swept this external high right here, which fueled the move lower to this area right here, trapping buyers right here, and then move to the upside. Okay. All right. After that, the market came for the liquidity that was left from time ago, which was right here. If I zoom in, you guys can see a lot better. So this inducement high was respected, and all the market did was come for that, which fueled the market to go lower. All right, so on the 4-hour time frame, automatically, you can see a couple things. Number one being this liquidity right here. Okay, so that's that liquidity right there. That little buildup, BOS to the upside, came respect to the low, building that liquidity, and then finally moved to the upside again. Anyways, after sweeping those lows, right? After Euro sweeping those lows, what you can see is it came and tapped into this liquidity block. Okay. Now, does that mean we can take this trade right off the liquidity block? That's not something I would do, only because there is a lot of liquidity to the downside. So I would have to see what it does, like a confirmation based entry. Anyways, let me mark out the liquidity block. And then let's make this below. Okay. If you go on the 15-minute time frame, automatically you see a couple things. Okay. Number one being let me drag this across. Okay. Number one being this right here. External low was taken out, as you can see right here. External low, and then all this liquidity from the left that was just taken out. Also, there is opposing liquidity, right? So if you can see, the low got swept right here. So that little BOS to the downside. Okay, the highs were respected yet again. Okay, so let's do red, and then pretty much. So there's liquidity sitting above here. Also more liquidity right here. But regardless, the main point is, after these lows are swept and comes into this extreme, we could potentially see the move up towards at least these highs, right? Because this right here would be your trap, or your smart money trap, and then this is the opposing liquidity. Okay, so let's put a little dollar sign right there, and then another one right there. All right, so automatically, if you go onto the 1-minute time frame, there's a couple things you can see. Number one, after the low over here was swept, the market started moving to the upside. Now, this 1-minute liquidity block is not a trade I would take, right? Basically have to look for a proper entry model. The market comes here, respects the low, moves higher. Okay, it does take out these highs, making that a BOS to the upside. However, it comes lower, sweeps this right here. Okay, sweeps that low right there. Now this becoming your liquidity block. Okay. All right. Can I take it straight away from this liquidity block? No, I wouldn't, right? Because the highs were just swept, so I'd have to see more price action form. Okay, so the market moves to the upside, printing higher highs, higher lows. you can see right here what the market does is boom, your BOS to the upside, inducing buyers, and then right there you got your BOS to the downside, or trapping them buyers and inducing sellers. Okay, let me just see if this low was taken out. I believe left equals. Anyhow, yeah, so the entry available would be as soon as buyers are trapped, right? Enter the market, and then keep your stops below the liquidity block, which is right here. Okay, and then target the highs, maybe partial out here, gives you like a nice 1 to 4.1, and then if you just hold to your target right here, which is where all that liquidity is, gives you a nice 4.9, right? 4.9 R, and it's a pretty decent trade. Okay, so that would be one entry. Entry number 2 would be this, right? So the market, after taking out the highs, okay, taking out all these highs, whatever, it starts moving to the upside, creating some sort of channel. Okay, so you can see this right here. A little channel, your trend line, whatever. Okay, so essentially what that tells me is all the retail traders are entering the markets, right? You can see BOS to the upside, comes, respects it, moves higher, another BOS to the upside, comes, respects the low again, BOS to the upside, comes, respects the low again, right? All it's doing is building liquidity, right? You got your structural traders, you got your trendline traders, you got all of them traders entering the markets, and pretty much all the Jimmys and Jonathans are right here. The market comes right here, and then it comes lower, sweeps all that liquidity, right here, and then this being the trap, and the market finally coming for the lows, this low right here. So the number, okay, what would have been a lot cleaner for this entry right here, so let's say you enter right here, keep your stops below the liquidity block, right? That would be kind of like a cheeky entry, and then let's say you target the highs. Right there. Regardless, this right here isn't like the best of entries. It would have been a lot better if the market actually took out this high right here, this one right here, and stay below these highs, and then came lower and swept the low. That would have been a lot nicer. However, the market didn't do that. So it's not the best of entries, but you can kind of sneak an entry right there. Another entry would be during New York, right? So what the market does is come into this trap area, okay? And what do you see? Well, number one, what you see is this right here. Market comes for this low right here, moves to the upside, and then what just happened? Okay, yeah. So the market comes, takes out this low, printing this liquidity block right here, comes down, respects it, moves higher, takes out the high, okay? Meaning I can't take any trades if it has a pullback, to this area yet. Okay, the only way I could do it is basically what I did right here. So what did the market do? The market printed this low right here. Okay, so after taking out the high, printed this low and had another BOS to the upside. Okay, so now that diverts the retail trader's attention from this low to entering right here, right? So like BOS to the upside, pull back, respects it. Okay, so it gives retail a little false hope. Okay, and then has another BOS. Okay, so all that's doing is building that liquidity for us to take the trade. All right, so what the market does is comes all the way down and then comes into this area right here. Now I would have low-key wanted an entry below here. However, after the market prints this low and came here and built liquidity right here, okay, as you can see right there, let me just turn it red. This right here is now a liquidity block. Okay, how's a liquidity block? Well, look at that right there. And you can enter anywhere right here, right? And then keep your stops below the low and then take the trade towards the highs. Okay, so because it's an entry at the highs or near the highs, personally I would manage the position a little more aggressive than usual. Let's say the market takes out this high right here, I would actually take out my stops. I mean, move my stops below here, right? And that's only because the market, after taking out this high, after taking out this high coming into this smart money trap, you have to understand the market could come lower and grab some liquidity from the downside, right? So for that reason, I would have to go break even as soon as these highs go. Okay, or at least move my stops below this low. So yeah, and then targeting the highs on the 15, right? All this build up right here, all this liquidity, and yeah, pretty much it gives you a nice 129R if you did take it from there during New York. This was the entry during London, and that little sneaky entry I was talking about was also during, well, 7:30 a.m. EST, so still London. And yeah, pretty much that is the end of the case study, and I'll see you guys in the next